mystery God. Absolutely no mystery God. There is no God in the sky, and there is no devil under the ground. Heaven is not in the sky, and hell is not under the ground. Heaven and hell are conditions of the mind, states of existence and states of being. So Jesus told us to stop looking for heaven in the sky. He said the kingdom of heaven is within you, and that we are the temples of the living God. That the living God lives in our temple, and he does not inhabit the sky, but he inhabits the higher realms of the heavens, of the realm of the secret innermost chambers of the subconscious chamber of the soul of man and woman. And this power bursts forth and emanates forth from him to set in motion a universal order based on principle and law. All of this set in motion by a divine power and a divine force that never dies. It's constant. It just changes forms. God is in man. Can't be in any man. He's got to be in the original man. Because if God is the first and everything comes from him, then he can't wait for anything else. He brings everything else into existence. There could be no white man if there were no black man. It is biologically and genetically impossible for the recessive white man to produce the dominant yellow baby. Biologically and genetically impossible for the recessive yellow man and woman to produce the dominant brown baby. Biologically and genetically impossible for the recessive brown man and woman to produce the dominant black baby. But that black man and his woman, the father and the mother of it all, can produce black, can produce brown, can produce red, can produce yellow. And if the seed runs wild or mutates in the womb of the black woman, can even produce an albino, something which is whiter than white, 180 degrees in either direction.
Find more. Y'all ask for this. The release of the black drum. Come in, my you tell it.
People king walk with the fire. See your Babylon, them they want kill him. Watch your blood run from me eyes. Pick up the Christ and feed the poor them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Drag and bring a flame from the pit of fire them. Enemies are paid for the murders with black power gangsters.
My dedication, deliberation, serving with constant elevation. Kill a cracker for my nation, this I'll gladly show and prove. Protect the Sada, no hesitation. Rikers Island, destination. Many attempts, assassinations, and I'm still dropping jewels. Fucked up situation that you still think you Caucasian. What a disgrace to this nation, time to lynch another coon. Hands up, I can't breathe, still a bitch on your knees. Begging please, master please, happy slaves and buffoons. As I watch the devastation from your miseducation. As I call it buck breaking, won't bust a balloon. Phil, nigga, be a racist. No need to complicate this while you comfy and complacent. Back in chains very soon. Mathematically equated with precision, contemplated. Now you looking devastated. Let me tell you what I mean. Faggot niggas integrated. MOD be most hated. And I know you crackers hate it. God is black up on the scene. What?
People king walk with the fire. See your Babylon, them they want kill him. Watch your blood run from me eyes. Pick up the Christ and feed it for them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Drag and bring a flame from the pit of fire them. Enemies are paid for the murder. Black power gangsters I'm gassed up with elements. Panthers bang on presidents. Niggas sleep in residence. Knowledge, self, common sense. Devil killer, frankincense. Hold the line, dip my stint. Survive or die, fuck the rent. Babylon's testament. White racist judgment. King Samir, the people say, let me burn this government. Teleport environments. Crown royal highness. Sour diesel cypher shit. Then I build with lioness. Then I kiss her pretty lips. Soldiers hear me, get your grip. Plug out bag, extra clip. Water filter, medic kit. Soldiers pass the hollow tips. Black dragon, bring the fire. Feel nigga heating this. Now I got my understanding so that God completing this. Niggas race treasonous. Which masters ask you for kids? I'm black God, you a bliss. May you all rest in peace. From the slumber terrorist, Kamala Harris, better witch. Black man of feminist, black power gangster shit. Uber King walk with the fire. See your Babylon, let me one kill him. Watch your blood run from me eyes. Pick up the Christ and feed it for them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Dragon bring a flame from the pit to fire them. Enemies of pain with the murders. But black power gangsters liberate them. Uber King walk with the fire. See your Babylon, let me one kill them. Watch your blood run from me eyes. Pick up the Christ and feed it for them. Blaze up the streets, make it hotter. Dragon bring a flame from the pit to fire them. Enemies of pain with the murders. For black power gangsters liberate them. Flame them. Burn them bumper cloud. Fire burn. Judgment on Babylon, yeah.
Wartime, 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 wartime. God damn it, wartime. Black power, a BB for Hodier, death to white supremacy. Black liberation, black liberation, black liberation. Thank you all for coming in tonight. I really humbly am honored that you're here. And if this is your first time tuning in, I'm going to say it just like my general, Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, buckle your seatbelts. Tighten up your thongs. Twist your boxers up a little bit. Your seat will get hot. And if it does, just stand up, fan it off a little bit, and sit your black ass back down and finish taking notes. You dig? It's my birthday tomorrow. So it would only be befitting that we're here tonight. Now, I don't know what the God has in his creative mind, because he always gets me, you dig? But let me say this: tomorrow I will be power wisdom, the God degree. So there's going to be a lot of refinement within self. There's going to be a lot of I don't want to say reforming, re-strategizing. Because I've reached that level. So it's time to manifest. It's time to manifest. And that's where I'm at in my everyday degree of life right now. Man, y'all have not seen Rebel Village lately. For some of you, you probably have never seen it. You probably saw it when I first got here. You understand? Wasn't much. But you'll see it. We've grown tremendously, so it's all about manifesting. I have 42 chickens, 16 ducks, and now 4 turkeys.
Wow. Wow.
So it's about manifesting. I'm humbly honored to be sitting here, to be able to say, I reached that stage. And I'm going to tell y'all, some of y'all know, some of you don't know, it was hard as hell. Being a retributionary is hard as hell. I don't know about these phony niggas y'all following, but being a hardcore, uncompromising retributionary, that is hard as hell. Now, I want y'all to notice every one of these damn fools you follow has been locked up for some bullshit. Most of them have been locked up and incarcerated for pedophilia. Now, your boy, good old Polite. Sentencing was today. 7 years. Brother Polite was charged with pedophilia. Pretty much. But these are the sick, psychotic, lead you anywhere back to sleep type niggas y'all love. You love these niggas to take your money. You love these niggas to take your time and energy. You love these niggas that take everything from you and give you nothing. How many more of these damn fools y'all need to see? But here I am every goddamn Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. But it's my born day and I got a surprise for y'all. I have a gift for y'all. And he's in the building. Yes, sir, he's in the building. I'm talking about an author of 3 books that, hell, let's see, we've been at this class now for 8 years. I want to take y'all back to 4 years ago, where straight 6 months was nothing but Brother Kabir Hadass's books. Y'all remember that? Well, Brother Kabir Hadass, Dr. Kabir Hadass is here. So I want y'all to get your pen and your pad out, because this black man is coming to you live and direct. Yes, you know we build from Baba Baruti's books. Baba Baruti has been here numerous of times. And we bringing him back before this year is out, so he can close out the year for us with some retributionary instruction on how to move in 2024 or 2020 whore, as I say. So without further ado, a comrade of mine, an ally of mine, a brother, a friend, anything you could possibly imagine of the positive. This brother and I go black since what, 95, Kabir? 94, 95?
93, actually. 93.
93. Right, because I just came to Philly.
Yeah, 93.
1993.
Do the math.
This man and I have been soldiering for black people throughout the hells and smells of Philadelphia. Programs to save black people's lives. Vital programs. Huh? Y'all know I don't mess with no damn talkers. King Samir is about action, so I need those around me about action. This man is about action. Founder of an organization called United for Success. UFS, in which I was a proud member of. And I had to go through the ropes just like everybody else and enjoyed every damn minute of it and held the line. I'm talking about a man who's battled the beast. Huh? Talking about a man who gives his time and energy every second he can. And I've witnessed it time and time and time again. All for the love of black people. For the love of black people. The author of Black Power and Destruction of White Supremacy in the Land Called America. The author of African Struggle Inherited. And the author of Oneness of the Blacks. And these are the books we have been building from. These are the books we have been teaching you from. So he's here, and I don't want to delay it anymore because I know he's coming to bring the heat, as he always does. And I'm going to let him tell you exactly who he is and what it is he does. So let's bring him on with a strong wartime salute, a strong Black Power salute, and a strong, even stronger, fuck the white man. Brother Dr. Kabir Hadass. Black man.
Thank you, brother. You hear me?
Yes, sir. Hear you loud and clear.
Now on my screen, I can't see you. Is that normal?
Yes, sir. I have my screen off.
All right. Okay.
Can you see me now?
No.
All right. Must have didn't come through yet.
Well, first and foremost, I want
But
to
you
thank
good. You good though.
Oh, I know
You
I'm
good.
No, I was just asking the question, brother. Just asking the question. I didn't
Yes,
see
sir.
your strong, handsome face on the screen. I just wanted to know what was going on. Because you know how the
Yes,
devil
sir.
does. They got a lot of trickery with them, and
Oh yeah.
I'm very honored. I'm very honored to be speaking to the people through this program tonight. And of course, I want to thank God, the Creator, and the ancestors for giving me the strength and the endurance and the vision to be here. Thank you very much. I will continually remain humble and grateful to the ancestors for allowing me to be a vessel, to help our people. Next year, if it be the will of the Creator and the ancestors, I'll be 60 years old. I want to say, I want to commend you for walking the talk. Many don't walk the talk. You have been walking the talk since I've met you, and it's very rare these days. And
Peace.
thank God that you're free to do that. Those, as you know, better than I do, those who have walked the talk, they have been killed or they have been imprisoned. Many of them are in prison today.
Yes, sir.
So let us give thanks for that. I want to say that whenever it's our Earth Day, whether your mother is alive or not in the physical, through African culture, as I continue to read African culture, we have always gave honor to our mother, particularly sometimes the father, but the mother, for giving us birth on that particular day we were born. And I know you and I have always had, we've already had this conversation, King, but I just want to let your listening audience know that remember, when it's your birthday, give your mother, give your mother a gift. Give your mother a gift on your birthday because she had the birthing day. You came, you're here. The revolution happened, but she actually had the birthing day. So we pay honor and homage and respect to our mothers on our birthday, whether she is in the physical or not. So never forget that African traditional culture or African tradition as we continue to be blessed to get older and revolve around the sun. Brothers and sisters, I want to start this conversation. We're going to have a conversation, and you know, there's so many things we can say in public. Of course, face to face is the best way to communicate, but we have this tool which makes the earth or makes the globe a lot smaller. So we have to use this tool to communicate. So there are certain things or concepts King Samir asked me to speak about that cannot be spoken about, but there are concepts that can be spoken about. There are ideologies and people that can be spoken about publicly. On this day, no, before that, King Samir, I want to thank you for your brotherhood. I want to thank you for your friendship. You've never let me down. You've always been there for me. You have given us many victories and more victories to come. And I want to humbly thank you. Many of you know King Samir. Some of you don't know him personally, but if you know this man personally and have walked with this man, it's really words can't express the energy that you feel when you're with this brother walking in the hells of North America. I don't care where you are. If you're walking with him side by side, there's a illumination. There's a godlike light that he carries, and people, our people, black people, Africans, they love him. They love him. They love him. They love him. And you just feel it. And you just feel it. It's hugs. It's salutes. It's salutes. You know, it's acknowledgments. And then you can even see the haters. You can even see the brothers and sisters that are scared of the red, black, and green, are scared of men like him because of the love that he has for us. Those are the dangerous brothers and sisters. They're around as well. And you can always notice them in and around us when we are walking. But for the most part, there's nothing but love, an infectious love that is reciprocal when this man is in a space, and it's beautiful. And his history is being written. His history is being written. He's in history books now, and authors such as myself will continue to write his history, but his history is already in stone. He has already left us a legacy. I pray that he lives a long, long life, and I'm sure he will, because there's a lot of work still yet to do. But it's really, really rare when you know a man that knows his purpose, knows his nia, knows why he's here, and knows what path has chosen his path. That is one aspect that black men have yet to accomplish, is to know their purpose. And it's very sad. It's very sad. So I like to open up with, on September 6, 1913, eight black men died of asphyxiation after authorities at a prison farm in Richmond, Texas, confined 12 black men in an underground cell and as punishment for not picking cotton fast enough. Let us keep those brothers in our thoughts today. That happened in 1913 today. It's very important that we stay focused on the history of our people, whether they are triumphs, victories, devastations, disasters, ma'afa. We have to every day stay in tune with what happened that day. So keep that in mind. You can look it up yourself. You can research that yourself. That is, again, Texas, Richmond, Texas. Richmond, Texas. I also love the fact that King Samir Shabazz uses images. He uses a lot of images. Images are very, very important. And I'm looking at the images, of course, of him, of one of my mentors, my greatest mentor, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, and of course, George Jackson, our Soledad brother. George Jackson gave us a definition of what freedom is. For you to fight, for you to develop concepts to win, or concepts to go to war with the devil, you must know why you are doing this. And there's been a level of comfortability in America, particularly because you have a flat screen television and you have a 9-to-5 job, possibly. You can relax on the weekends, maybe go on a little vacation, but that's not freedom. That's not freedom. So Marcus Garvey has always told us that we're not going to fight until we feel the brick against our back. He said, feel that cool brick up against our back. So at this particular time, September 6, 2023, our back is not up against the wall yet. I'm talking about collectively. We will always have soldiers like King Samir and brothers who will give us victories. Victories. See, everyone's looking for the big revolution. It does not have to happen that way. We want this to happen this way, but victories are revolutions. Every victory is a small revolution. So feel the brick. When you feel the brick, that cool brick up against your back, and you have nowhere else to turn, that's when we start fighting. But until then, the devil has cleverly given us this comfort zone where we think we're free. Our leader and general, George Jackson, said, freedom means warmth and protection against harsh exposure to elements. It means food, not garbage. It means truth, harmony, and the social relations that spring from these. It means the best medical attention whenever it's needed. It means employment that is reasonable, that coincides with individual necessities and feelings. We have fallen, we will have this freedom even at the cost of war. We love George Jackson. This book, Soledad Brother, and of course, Blood in My Eye, is something that is a must read. It's a must read. It's a must read. Tonight, I will be giving you a few tools of revolutionary books or concepts that you may have read, that you may have heard of. But these are books that you need to read from cover to cover. These are books that you need to order as I'm talking, so you can get them delivered to your dwelling. It's a fact, a very, very serious fact, that 77% of Black high school graduates never read another book the rest of their life. We do not read. I am a teacher. I'm on the front lines every day. Our children and their parents don't like what they see in the mirror. It's the disease of self-hate. That's the greatest disease in this century for the Black man and the Black woman. The disease of self-hate. Cancer, drug addiction, they're devastating diseases. But the disease of self-hate is the greatest one that we have to battle. And it's very easy to lose focus on who you are and what you are if you are not trying to read. It's very simple. Many of you already know what the white man did to us when they caught us reading. Burned out our eyeballs, cut our tongues out. There's a reason why they did not want us to read. And here it is, 2023, going into 2020, as King Samir says, 2020 whore, and we're still not reading. 80% of Black college graduates never read another book after graduating college. 90% of new books bought by Black families are not read to completion. 90% of Black adults have not been in a bookstore in the last 5 years. Any bookstore. I'm not just talking about a Black bookstore. 95% of Black families did not buy or read a book last year. Many of you that are watching this broadcast, you fit right in that category. And it's a damn shame. Shame on you sisters and shame on you brothers for not opening up a book. Now, let me say, it does not necessarily measure intelligence or know-how or intuition. Mr. Garvey, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, taught us that we can be educated on many fronts, and you can be educated without going to the classroom or a great university. But you must read. If your grandchildren, if your children, if your nieces and nephew do not see you read at home, they will not be readers as well. One thing about King Samir Shabazz, he's a hell of a reader. He reads continuously. He's never without a book. And if you have a conversation with him and he's not 100% sure of what you may have communicated with him, he's going to come back to you within 24 hours and give you greater detail of what you're talking about. He loves to read. And most men and women that like to read, they are leaders. They are leaders. Because the truth of the fact is, what? Lifespan, 70, 75, that's not a lot of time. So when you read the autobiography of Malcolm X and Assata Shakur and Khalid Abdul Muhammad, when you read these books, you learn. Malcolm X was never without a book. Marcus Garvey said, you should read at least 4 hours a day. All the work that man did, he found time to read 4 hours a day. He read a book, one book a week. He read one book a week, which added up to 52 books a year. That's why he was so intelligent. That's why he led a mass movement of over 11 million Africans worldwide. That's why he was able to lecture and write and give us the Declaration of Rights of Negro peoples of the world. To hell with the declaration, the white man's declaration. We have our own Declaration of Rights. that hopefully I have time to speak of tonight. And if not, we'll come back and talk about that. But that's what the children, the Watoto, are learning in Baba Kabir's class. So the books that I would like to talk about or express my interest or express to you are books that have great meaning in, again, concepts, revolutionary concepts, books that we must read, books that must be in your library. And you don't need bookshelves. Get you some crates. If you're a black man and a black woman today and you don't have a library in your home, you're part of the problem. Turn that damn television off. You're part of the problem. You know it, and I know it. And some of you have already probably turned this broadcast off because you're embarrassed. But there's no need to be embarrassed, brothers and sisters. There's no need. We got to just straighten ourselves up. We got to straighten ourselves up. So there's a King Samir Shabazz is familiar with this question. This is a question that was on my first book in 1995. It made people think and gave them another level of consciousness. It says, black people, after the successful revolution to destroy European domination and global white supremacy, what should we do with the remaining Caucasians? There was 7 answers that you could answer. 7. Number 1, send remaining survivors to a small, isolated landmass. Asking yourself these questions of visualizing what I'm putting down is a revolution within itself. Khalid Muhammad said, black people don't even dream about revolution. We don't even dream about freedom and liberation. While you're in the bed, snuggled, warm. Number 2, imprison them all. Number 3, put slavery back into effect to rebuild the demolished areas created from the revolution. 4, breed and keep them for experimental use. 5, torture them. Now, these were options. You're not going to say Kabir Hadas was telling you to do this and telling you to do that. I'm giving you options that I wrote down in a book in 1995. 6, completely exterminate them. And 7, many people chose number 7. When I would give this questionnaire out to hundreds of people, a Doomsday, Malcolm X Park, different places, number 7 was let them live peacefully amongst us again and allow them to build their race again. The goodness, the inherent goodness of the black woman and the black man gravitated to number 7. Now, I gave you those concepts because I want you to visualize. We have no images. Black men and black women today cannot give you history before slavery. There's nothing, it's blank. When your children or your grandchildren or your neighbor asks you to tell them about the history of black people before slavery, there's nothing there. We have to fill that void. There are hundreds of books that talk about a pre-colonial black Africa. Sheikh Anta Diop, Ivan Van Sertima. There are plenty of authors, Runoko Rashidi, that have given us proof and evidence of a superior, a beautiful civilization before the Caucasian became, or before the Caucasian came amongst us. So it's very, very important that you put strong black images of black men and women in your home, sisters. Take the bullshit off your walls. Hannibal of Carthage, a man who ruled Italy for over 15 years. He took an army from North Africa, Carthage, which is now modern day Tunisia, thousands of miles with trained elephants to kill white people that he knew was coming for Africa. The historical perspective of this was 240 or 50 years before Jesus Christ was born. 240 years before Jesus Christ walked the planet. So you have to ask yourself, what was their religion? Ask yourself, what did they practice to have this fortitude to do what they had to do? That's not, I'm not taking anything away from the revolutionary Jesus and the strong Christian nationalists that are amongst us. All I'm saying is dig deeper. Dig deeper. You must dig deeper. So if there's no images, the mind, this is how the mind works. If you close your eyes, sisters and brothers, whatever word you hear, an image pops in your mind. Whatever word you hear, whether it's a fork, a truck, someone being smacked, tall person, short person, there's an image. So what we have to do is give our children images of grandeur civilizations of Africa, Timbuktu and Mali, Maasai. We have to give them images of African empires. Many of you are not aware that when the white man was living in the caves with bats, insects, eating their dead, using the skulls for utensils, sleeping in the cave with defecation and urination all around them, flies and vermin. When they were living like that, before the Moors got to them, which you are, many of you trip off these titles, it just means black. When they were living like savages, we were navigating the 7 seas. We were weaving cloth. You sister, you brother, we were building pyramids. We were building images in stone, images of ourselves or our likeness. We were studying the stars, the mighty Dogon, before the European knew what a shoe was. These are the images and these are the conversations that must be talked about this year, today, on the corners. Not the NFL, not NFL football tonight to watch the $40 million slaves. Don't talk, we're not talking about that this Sunday. We're talking about studying. And once you realize who you really are and start loving yourself, you'll do things to protect yourself. You do things to develop these concepts. You will do things to read books like Free the Land. Obadeli, the Republic of New Africa, which is still here, that had the courage, the fortitude, and the intelligence, and the organization to want to get away, want our separate land. When you start loving yourself, you will read books like Black Africa, The Economic and Cultural Basis of a Federated State by Sheikh Anta Diop, that gives us concepts of African tradition before the European. There were no court systems. There were no prisons before the European came amongst us. There were no orphanages. We didn't throw our babies away. There were no lawyers. Why, Baba Kabir? Because everyone knew the law of the land. There were no prisons. There was enough vegetation. There was enough land for everybody to eat. These are images that we have to talk about. When you start loving yourself and that which reminds you of yourself, you'll read Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon, a brilliant psychiatrist, a brilliant doctor who had had enough in Algiers and made it a commitment to pick up the gun and to give us concepts of revolution, to give us concepts of how good it feels to kill your oppressor. Men like Frantz Fanon, men like my brother Walker, they said that to kill your oppressor is as simple and easy as taking a sip of water when you're thirsty. David Walker said that in David Walker's Appeal. But I have to say, we have become cowards. We have become cowards. And just watching, looking out the window, or so-called being patient, George Jackson taught us that's cowardice within itself. So at some time, at some point, where and when do we organize again? Because we've had some strong movements, and we will have more strong movements to bring about a brighter or warmer future for our children. Our children are being born into nothingness. No legacy, no money. We are failing the future. We, the adults, are failing the future. And you can romanticize it all you want. But if you're not doing anything in your community, if you're not a part of an organization or doing something as an example for us to live, for us to survive, you're a part of the problem. You're a part of the problem. When you start loving yourself, brothers and sisters, you'll read Revolution to Die for the People, Huey P. Newton, a brilliant brother. We all know his story. We all know how powerful he was and Bobby Seale to do what they did at that particular time. And the services, if there was no Black Panther Party, there would be no breakfast programs in the schools in America. We all know the story of the programs for the people. Many so-called scholars, they like to put a gun in their hand and a black leather jacket and a beret. That was for self-defense. That was for self-defense, not go kill Whitey. That was for self-defense. And they're taking that out of the curriculum now. You're reading the papers. You're watching television. They're taking all that out. And we are allowing them. If you let strangers write your history, you will be or continue to be a stranger to yourself. John Henry Clark taught us that. When I read that statement, that's when I said, shh, I'm going to begin to write. I'm going to begin to write. I pray that the ancestors use Kabir as a vessel to tell our story in the best interest of us. And that's what I've been doing. Many of you have books in your brain. Many of you have things that you can write about. Contact King Samir Shabazz. In turn, he will contact me. If you have a story to tell, I don't care if it's poetry that will influence, it can be published. You can leave your legacy. If the Creator and the ancestors call on me tonight, the legacy is set. People will be able to read the thoughts of Kabir Hadass in 2023 because he was writing them. I know there are people on this program that would love to have some of their thoughts published. It's very easy. It's a very easy process. Very easy. When you start loving yourself, you will read books such as Revolutionary Warfare, Handbook on Revolutionary Warfare by Kwame Nkrumah, where there are tactics, strategies for guerrilla warfare. These books have to be studied. These books here, Pre-Colonial Black Africa, Sheikh Anta Diop, where he tells you our history before Europeans came amongst us. African World Revolution, Africans at the Crossroads by John Henry Clark, a powerful read. I hope you're writing these books down. Some of you have read these books. That's all you did was read them. These are the concepts that King Samir Shabazz talks about. I told you about David Walker's appeal. He wrote this in 1830. Slavery was nasty when he wrote this book. It's still here. Brothers like Kabir Hadass, I'm talking about this book. It's in print. David Walker lives. He lives toward an African revolution. France Fanon. Martin Delaney, The Condition, Elevation, and Immigration and Destiny of the Colored People of the United States. Another powerful read with concepts of fighting back and building on your own, no matter what the circumstance is. France Fanon again, white skin, black skin, white mass, house niggas. They're all around us. We got to deal with them, brothers and sisters. They ain't going nowhere. They're dangerous. There are men today that can't look the white man in the eye today. I see it. There are men, black men today that hold the door open for white people. Today. There are men that will not look a white man in the eye as they're walking past. There are men that don't look the police in the eye. There are black men that have been arrested and convicted by certain police officers and can't or don't even want to remember their name. There are black men who have been incarcerated, even set up, unjustly convicted, and can't remember the judge's name. There are black men and women who have been caught in this web that don't remember the prosecutor's name, the detective's name. They live just like you. The cops that set you up, they got to go to the supermarket just like you. They take a shit just like you. They take their children to Walt Disney and Sesame Street Place just like you. The European has not only kicked the black man, Stephen Biko says he has even taught us how to react to the kick. They love that the black man has become a coward. They love it. They ride in their patrol cars and laugh. Look at these cowards. So there must be a new day. There must be a time where we have to live better. We have to start living better and stronger as black men. In my community, there are very few black businesses. And I will continue to push Black Tuesday. I will continue to pour my little coins to black-owned businesses. I will continue to play my part. But it's very discouraging when the white man's ice is colder. The slave mentality is very, very, very deep, embedded. Here you have a sister that sells ice, and a white lady who sells ice. Brother Mustafa goes to the white lady to get the ice. And they ask Brother Mustafa, brother, why you get your ice from the white lady? And my sister got the same, you know, got an ice store that sells ice too. The slave mentality will tell you the white lady's ice is a little colder. That fool would actually say that. The white lady's ice cubes are just a little colder when I use it for my Pepsi or my cold beer. That's the slave mentality. So that's what we're dealing with. That's why it's very difficult to have and maintain a business, because black people, you, me, what I used to do, you walk in the store and you look for something or reason not to go back. That's what you do. And if you see something that's foul in the store, instead of saying, sister, brother, next time you might want to clean that up, or I saw the roach, you out of there. You ain't coming, you're not coming back, and you're going to talk shit about the store. That's a slave mentality that we must eliminate. And it's through brothers like King Samir Shabazz, it's through programs like this that will help you, that will spark that African tradition in you. It's in us. It's in us. We have it in us. Men like us are just reminding you of who you are. We're just reminding you. It's in you. Sisters, it's in you, brothers. When you start reading books and loving yourself, you'll read this book here, The African Origins of Civilization, Myth or Reality by Sheikh Anta Diop. In this book, you will see images of the European in loincloths coming into the interior of Africa. In that book, images, the first time the Europeans came to Africa to get warmer, to get better food, in loincloths, we started letting them come in. There are images. One thing that we always did, we recorded a lot of our activity. The European, the Caucasian takes a lot of time to manipulate and to tear down or to destroy paintings and images that are in stone. We still haven't had the decency, the unity, the courage, the political unity or fortitude to try to repair the nose on the Sphinx. There's been no talk of that anywhere, to put that big wide nose like mine back on the Sphinx. When that cracker Napoleon saw that big image, the largest image in stone in the world, built over 25,000 years ago, he said, hell no, and blew the nose off. That's where the 11-gun salute comes from in the military. 11 cannon blasts. But we all know that that's a black face. So these are some of the things or concepts that we must internalize before you even think about picking up the gun, before you even think about building a revolutionary cadre to defend your community? What's the use of having a gun in your hand and your mind is messed up? What's the use of having a gun in your hand and you're practicing fratricide? You're killing for dumb shit. What's the use when your mind's not right? You can get some of the best of the black community with some of the best weaponry around the world. It's easy to get because they know you're not going to do nothing with it. They know you're not going to read King Alfred's plan. They know you're not going to read Rex 84. They know you're not going to read a contingency plan to lock the black community down in 8 hours. Yeah, 8 hours. That's how long it takes for the military to cordon off the area you live in, fence it off, electric barbed wire, razor wire around the area where you live, where your grandmother lives, where your father lives, and nothing moves from that particular perimeter. 8 hours. Rex 84 is real. And it takes just one lie to spark it and put it in place. Are you ready? Are you ready? Can you sit in your home and honestly say you can stay in your home for 1 month? I'm not even going to say 3 months, for 30 days without leaving it. Sisters and brothers that have diabetes, do you have enough insulin in your refrigerator? Well, hell, do you have a generator to keep your refrigerator cold? These are some of the things that you begin to think about when you start loving yourself and reading these books. I'm a father. I have family. I have comrades. It hurts to know that it's going to get worse before it gets better. It hurts to know that we're being put to sleep. The Obama factor. Hooray, we finally made it. That Negro didn't do nothing for black people. Nothing. And he got on there and sung Amazing Grace. You're still praising him. Shit, he didn't even bring back the government cheese. And when you start loving yourself, you start researching, and you'll see that they call Obama the drone president. That man, under his administration, within 8 years, have killed more black people, more brown people with manless drones, manless missile drones than any other president or all the modern presidents put together. Obama. This is not Baba Kabir talking. I'm talking about facts that you can look up yourself. Thousands of innocent people dead in the name of American democracy. Men and women that look just like you. He had no beef. He didn't give no European nations no smoke. They were all sisters and brothers that look just like you. So when you start loving yourself and you think about these concepts that King Samir Shabazz wanted me to talk about tonight, you will arm yourself. You will learn how to shoot. You will go to the range. You will get with brothers and sisters that have capability and land to practice. You will learn to grow or begin to learn how to grow your own food like King Samir Shabazz. You will sleep with all the lights out, turning the television off. You will do reconnaissance in your community. I'm talking about getting up early and walking around, seeing what's going on. You will begin to stock up water and think about what if. Hypothetical thinkers, they live longer. Hypothetical thinkers live longer. What if? Some of you saying, shit, this nigga crazy. This America. We doing better than we've ever been. You're a fool if you think that. And I still love you, but you're a fool. See, we own this individual accomplishment thing. I got mines. But if you're not talking about we or us, be very, 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 very suspicious of the brothers and sisters, the sisters and brothers that say I a lot. Me, I, me. I want to have conversations with brothers and sisters that talk about the we and the us, the collective work and responsibility, Ujima. So when you are or start loving yourself, you will prepare yourself for things that you don't think or have not heard about, but you're listening to this conversation. You will remember to learn CPR and first aid. Some of you don't know how to save a life if someone died right in front of you or was dying right in front of you. It's a very, very simple thing to learn CPR and first aid. Learn it. Learn the pressure points of the body. Most people that die from gunshot wounds, they don't die from the bullet, they die from the loss of blood, the hemorrhaging. There are ways to stop it. There are places where you apply pressure and you can save lives. You can save lives. Simple things. Many of you don't even know your blood type. Many of you don't know your blood type. And many of you are listening to Kabir Hadass tonight and still ain't gonna find out your blood type. Oh shit, I get heard, they'll find out. You should know your own blood type. Very simple information about you. About you. So these are some of the things that you have to think about before even coming in the mindset of revolutionary tactics and strategies. We'll always have our lone wolves out there that will set examples, but it has to be collective. It has to be organized. Our greatest enemy is disorganization amongst ourselves. Marcus Garvey taught us that. Disorganization is the greatest enemy. We don't like to organize. We're lazy. We're lazy as hell. But it has to change. And it's through programs like this. It's through conversations like this. I know I have touched at least one African tonight. At least one has a different mind frame before they got on. Or I should say better frame of mind. Because if you already tuned in to King, you have concepts and you are very aware or more aware than the average Negro, for sure. But this reinforces conversations like this. They reinforce what you know. And it's done out of love. It's done out of wanting to live under a warmer sun. So begin to stock up your water and your tuna fish and your canned goods. Just start stocking up. Because when they hit the switch, there'll be no internet. There'll be no cell phones. The towers will be off. Many of you don't have walkie-talkies. You're not going to be able to communicate with your loved ones. You're going to panic. When they turn the water off, when they turn the gas off, when they turn the electric off by a flip of the switch, ask yourself, what are you going to do? In Philadelphia, they do it periodically. They'll cut the electric off in a grid and just watch to see who does what and when and how. Then they'll pop it back on in an hour, 2 hours. They do it in your area as well. Maybe for not as long, to see who is reacting. So these are the concepts that I would like for you to begin to grasp. There are many things that I would love to talk about, to have conversations about, but this is a great start for me coming back on this show, and we can build from here. There is a love in your heart that you have to grasp, and you have to, if you love yourself and your family, you must, we must do better. You're dead weight. Many of us are dead weight. We ain't doing shit. Getting high, we having sex, we might be going to work, watching TV, going to the club, vacation. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than that. Practice your craft. Whatever it is that you do, be good at it. Hone your craft. Know your purpose, sisters. Know your purpose, brothers. No one can give you your nia. You have to define your purpose and why you are here. There's a reason why you're watching this broadcast. You could be doing a lot of other things, but tonight you're watching this broadcast so that you can become a stronger brother and a stronger sister. The other books, very quickly, that I would like to break down or let you know about is the book of Khalid. You have to get the book. You have to read the book by Malik Zulu Shabazz. You have to read this book. You have to. It's a must. It might not contain everything about my brother, but it gives you the evolution process of him coming into leadership and becoming a general, and what he did and how he did it. To the best of Malik's ability, he gave us a good storyline of our General Khalid Abdul Muhammad. Everyone should have that book. Maroon, the Implacable, Russell Maroon Schultz. Everyone should have this book. Every black man and every black woman should have this book. One of our heroes, one of our saints. He's an ancestor now. But he gives us instruction and concepts of revolution, particularly through matriarch societies. When you read the works of Russell Maroon Schultz, brothers, you see how strong black women are and were and can be. When you read the work of Russell Maroon Schultz, sisters, you will realize your strength. Brothers, you will realize that if a black woman has the ability to lead, let her lead. Let her run the nation. If you're secure with yourself, brothers, doesn't take away your manhood if a sister is running the nation. That's where you got caught up and you're beginning to act like the colonizer. You know, the colonizer, the European, the white man does not respect his woman. Never has and never will. So that is the books tonight that I want to share. This one here is the last one. Can't Jail the Spirit. I hope you're writing these books down. Why this book is so important. Can't Jail the Spirit. Political prisoners in the United States. Brothers and sisters, if you deny political prisoners, you deny the validity of your struggle. They are the ones that have fought for us. They are the ones that have used the strategies and the tactics and the concepts that King Samir talks about. They are the ones. A black community that does not love and respect and honor those who fought for that same community are doomed to remain slaves forever. This book is in their own words. This is not what Kabir Haddad says about Mumia Abu Jamal or Sundiata Akoli or Ruchel McGee. This is what they say about themselves. Brother Delbert Africa, what he says about himself. Mike Africa, who is with us still today, what he says about himself. King Samir Shabazz, I want to thank you for allowing me to speak to the righteous. Brothers and sisters, I have a column in the Scoop USA every week. Scoop USA, you can look it up. It's a Black-owned and operated newspaper here in Philadelphia that was started by Sonny Driver. It's 62 years old. I write a column. The column that just came out today is about Mr. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Many of you may not know, I'm a 20-year member of the UNIAACL. I served as Minister of Education, District 2 Commissioner, and now I serve as the head of the archives here in Philadelphia at Division 121, Thomas W. Harvey Memorial Division 121. Whether you like it or not, you have to join an organization. If you're not going to join an organization, create one for yourself. Black Power.
Black Power. Black Power. Wow, brother. Man, I told y'all he's gonna come with the ballistics.
Thank
brother,
you, beloved.
Thank you. Thank
I appreciate
you, God. Yes, sir. You know
Appreciate
how
you,
we roll. Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, let me tell y'all.
Hold on, brother, King Samir. Can you give me your word next time that you will actually have conversation with me? Because steel sharpens steel. When you dropping your atoms, brother, it illuminates me on different levels. So can you?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, brother. I would appreciate that.
I want you to come back in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir. I'll be delighted.
Next week, y'all, I got another bomb coming. And we're gonna be building on revolutionary concepts of the African struggle all month of September. So Baba Kabir, you are the opening for revolutionary concepts in the African struggle. You've opened that door. So next week, y'all, you got to tune in, because the 5-star general of the Black Riders Liberation Party will be here live and direct, in effect. And you know, when he gets on here, oh boy. So y'all know he's coming with the flamethrowers. You dig? And then we're going to have Baba Kabir come back right after General Taco. And I got another surprise coming for the end of the month to close us out. And I'm not going to even give a detail, because I don't want y'all to start hating. And you know, but trust and believe. Trust and believe. Y'all know I do things mathematically, right? So I got somebody for that ass to close out revolutionary concepts in the African struggle. Now, let me tell y'all, as Baba Kabir was building, the white man was definitely playing his games. I couldn't even get black in to the class. You dig? So I was having a very hard time to even get back in the class, y'all. So y'all know every week they come with something, okay? And this is my born day tribute, so I knew I was waiting on their bullshit. And they never let me down. You bastards never let me down. You do your fucking job as the devil, and thank you for being the devil. Now, we want to close out. Kabir, you got any last words, comrade?
Yeah, I would like for brothers and sisters. I'm not a big fan of R&B at all, but one thing I taught my little soldiers, sisters and brothers, the song that Jill Scott did is called Home of the Slave. She did another rendering of the national anthem. And I would like for the audience to Google that, her lyrics. And all she did was turn or change the lyrics at a live concert. And these are things that we must do. We must replace what the European has given us. If you're over 40 years old, you know the national anthem by heart. If you don't know it by heart, you're lying. It's in here. So the new children, the future must erase or we must replace American colonization, colonizing concepts of how of their traditions with our own. And she says, oh, say, can you see by the blood in the streets that this place doesn't smile on you, colored child, whose blood built this land with sweat and their hands. But you'll die in this place and your memory erased. Oh, say, does this truth hold any weight? This is not the land of the free, but the home of the slaves. Black power.
Black power. Wow. Very powerful words by our sister Jill Scott. And we're going to close out, y'all, because I know the devil is going to just keep playing his game. And I want to thank y'all for coming to my little born day tribute. You dig? Not little but powerful. I'm little. Hell, I'm gonna say it. I'm little, but powerful.
Very, very. You're getting old, King. You're getting old, King. Race first.